So today we have Jason, the original Red Ranger, taking on Leonardo. Who wins? Let's find out. So, Jason Lee Scott was the very first Red Ranger and the original leader of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He later became the Gold Zeo Ranger. Even without being morphed, he's still in great physical shape, as he's strong enough to routinely one-shot putties and stagger and even knock over Goldar and other monsters with his kicks. He's consistently kept on fighting after taking hits from Goldar, Scorpina, and other monsters that sent him flying, and he's fast enough to dodge blaster fire and consistently outreact the putties. But after he morphs, all these are enhanced greatly to superhuman levels. He's strong enough to lift a giant boulder over his head and to send Goldar and other monsters flying with relative ease. He's tough enough to remain conscious after a blast from Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed, as well as massive falls and explosions, and he becomes fast enough to dodge a lightning blast from Rita Repulsa and to move and run as a blur. He's one of, if not the best fighter and martial artist in the entire Power Ranger franchise, mastering the art of karate and being able to match or even best Tommy Oliver. He's also an expert swordsman. In his Ranger form, he has two weapons on him. His Blaster Sword, which is a blaster that can fold out into a sword, and his Power Sword, a powerful sword, and his primary weapon as well. But in the other corner, Leo. Leo is the fearless leader of the crime-fighting mutated turtles of brothers known as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Due to being a mutated turtle who's been extensively trained for most of his life, he is superhuman. He's strong enough to easily slice through and bend metal. He's routinely gotten back up after being thrown into and through walls, as well as multi-story falls, and he's routinely dodged bullets and laser fire. Due to being trained by Master Splinter most of his life extensively, he is a ninjutsu master and a master swordsman as well. He's constantly training when not fighting crime to keep bettering himself, and he's the most skilled out of his brothers. His main weapons are his two katanas that he usually dual wields, and they are stronger than steel, as he's able to slice right through metal with ease. He is a skilled strategist and tactician, and he's a great leader as well. He has an undying willpower, as failure to him it just isn't an option. And finally, just like all turtles, he has a hardened shell on his back that's bulletproof as well. So, I think it's safe to say that Jason can't beat Leo unless he morphs. Like, he could put up a good fight, and he wouldn't go down easy, but I can't see him beating a mutated turtle with the skill that Leo has. So let's just say he morphs right from the start, and that's when the fight starts. So, who's stronger? Well, Leo is able to fight against Rocksteady and Bebop, easily lift men above his head and throw them, easily ragdoll and send people and robots flying with his attacks, and to consistently slice right through metal with his swords and bend metal as well. But I'd say Jason takes this advantage. He's routinely sent putties flying easily lift monsters over his head and throw them, send Goldar flying with a kick, and most impressively, he easily lifted a massive boulder high above his head with his bare hands. So yeah, Jason is stronger. What about durability? Well, Leo has routinely walked off being thrown into and through walls, as well as multiple story falls, withstood beatings from Rocksteady and Bebop, hits from Slash, who's a 30-tonner, and kept on fighting after being hit by blaster and laser fire, as well as bullets. He also has his bulletproof shell on him as well for extra protection. But again, I'd say Jason is better here. He's kept on fighting after being hit with blasters and massive attacks from guys like Goldar, Evil Green Ranger, Lord Zed, and several others that sent him flying, as well as a lightning blast from Rita Repulsa. He's also remained conscious after immense falls and explosions. He is better here, but if he takes too much damage, he will demorph. More on that later though. So now, speed. Leo might be a turtle, but he isn't slow, not even in the slightest. He's routinely outmaneuvered Rocksteady and Bebop, consistently blitzed thugs, Foot Clan ninjas, and robots before they could react, dodge and deflect bullets, and dance through blaster fire from several robots. But just like strength and durability, I'd say a morphed Jason is better here as well, because of two feats. He ran so fast that he appeared as a red blur, and he straight up dodged a lightning blast from Rita Repulsa. And if it's anything like normal lightning, it was traveling at 220 miles per hour about. Now, I have a hard time believing Jason dodged something going that fast, but I do believe it moved faster than any bullet could. So, Jason is physically better across the board, but Leo isn't too far behind in any of the categories at all. So, what about fighting skill? Well, since he was a kid, Jason was fascinated with the art of karate and started learning it then. He quickly rose through each colored belt, and by the time he was in high school, he was a black belt and was even teaching his own karate class. He's arguably the greatest fighter and martial artist in the entire Power Ranger franchise, simply because he's able to match or even best Tommy Oliver, someone who's just as devoted to the art as Jason is. He's routinely and single-handedly beat whole groups of putties by demorph, just relying on his skill alone. He's also proven to be better than Goldar and Scorpina, Rita's two best fighters. He's also an expert swordsman. But I think Leo is taking this advantage. He's been extensively trained in the art of ninjutsu and swordsmanship most of his life by Master Splinter, one of the greatest fighters in all of comics. He's the overall most skilled out of his brothers because of his devotion and discipline to the art of ninjutsu. He's easily bested whole groups of thugs, criminals, robots, and Foot Clan ninjas. He's bested each of his brothers more times than not, and he's even eventually bested Master Splinter and Shredder. He's also constantly training just to better his skill. The two big reasons why I say Leo is better is that there's no one in the Power Ranger franchise as skilled as Master Splinter or Shredder, and because ninjutsu is a more difficult and complex martial art form than karate is. Leo is also the better strategist and tactician here. But Jason's weapons are more powerful, especially his power sword. It has power in its name. I don't think the blaster sword will give Leo much of any trouble, but you could argue that the power sword could even pierce through Leo's shell. But back to Jason demorphing if he takes too much damage. You see, Power Rangers get their power through their morphers, which has a connection to something known as the morphing grid, a multiversal energy field. But when they are severely damaged, so is the connection to the morphing grid, which causes them to demorph, leaving them very injured and winded, and prevents them from morphing for a good while. If this happens, Jason is done for. But can Leo realistically deal that much damage? Well, throughout the Power Rangers series, there's been three constant ways to make a Power Ranger demorph: massive falls, massive explosions, and attacks from the most powerful bad guys during that Power Rangers series. And to be honest, I don't think Leo can dish out that much damage. It'd be a great fight, and Leo could get a win or two if he damaged Jason's morpher and caused him to demorph, but Jason is winning the majority here. The original Red Ranger wins. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy, leave a comment of what you think, and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Have a great day and all that great stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.